This is a Words of Life Health Talk. Health talks, and people listen. You may be saner than you think. The copper-zinc link. We know that daily poor health choices can result in immediate and future consequences, including cancer and diabetes, high blood pressure and heart disease, autoimmune conditions, anxiety, depression, OCD, etc. But what about people who lead a very healthful lifestyle, yet develop serious illnesses? Many factors may be key contributors, including the delayed results of formerly poor lifestyles. But some diseases have a likely link to a mineral of which we may not immediately think: copper. We know that aluminum, mercury, and lead are dangerous, but we don't hear much about copper. That's beginning to change, as more people are discovering that both copper deficiency and toxicity can wreak havoc on health. Copper is a trace mineral that is essential for survival, so it's not all bad. But when levels become elevated, the liver may not be able to process the excess, so copper stores in the liver and later in other vital organs, damaging them, as well as the nervous system. One excess copper storage organ is the brain. Thus, significantly high copper levels may very well be the prime element in some instances of mental disturbances, including the ones most feared: schizophrenia and Alzheimer's. Granted, there are other factors at work in the development of mental illness, but since an estimated 50 to 65% of schizophrenic patients have very high levels of copper, the connection between mental balance and copper balance shouldn't be ignored. The zinc link. How does zinc factor in? Sufficient zinc intake keeps copper at a safe level. But when zinc levels decrease, copper levels tend to increase. The high copper level reduces zinc's absorption, thus copper levels can become toxic. And since a zinc deficiency is also a contributor to mental illness, having high copper and low zinc is doubly bad for the brain. Other questions. How does excess copper affect the mind? What is the best way to test for copper? How do I get rid of excess copper? What foods contain copper? How can I get enough zinc? Some of the answers may be unique to individuals. Reputable websites, reference books, and your healthcare provider can perhaps better answer those questions according to your personal needs. I'm still learning, after discovering coppery fingernail ridges, like a line drawn with the edge of a penny, and also several strands of gray hair like this, with copper-colored specks. Lab tests showed extremely high copper, explaining why I hadn't been thriving, though living healthfully. It also brought relief that my occasionally bizarre thinking wasn't my fault and was easily treatable. While reading about the bad effects of high copper, things started to make sense. It seems some serious health challenges may largely be due to the very mineral that is used to make sense. To balance the ratio between copper and zinc that is apparently out of sync, taking zinc supplements, since I don't eat animal products, eating fewer copper-rich foods, and taking products that remove toxic minerals, metals, is the suggested protocol that I'm choosing to follow until further advised. To avoid toxicity, under 100 milligrams of zinc daily is advisable when trying to lower a high copper level. If it's not too good and simple to be true that health improves with proper amounts of copper and zinc, you may be saner and sooner than you think. Enemies of God wish to make man's original diet look imbalanced. It's not, but our world is. So I urge you to have both your copper and zinc levels evaluated soon so you can remedy a toxicity and/or a deficiency. You may wish to check online to learn more about copper and zinc, but Google is not God. since nothing on the internet, not even Google, nor any human being, even you and me, truly knows everything. Let's ask the one who does. Only our Creator is omniscient. He knows every cell of our bodies, and He longs for us to have perfect health, including a perfectly sound mind. So pray to the Lord for guidance in determining if a copper and zinc imbalance is indeed your culprit. Words of life. Indeed, it's true that money talks, but health does too. What is your health saying?